Welcome students, welcome to IPCS Biology. In the next day, NEET exam. So just you remember or recall DNA within 1 hour. Here I discuss 15 different types of questions from DNA covering various topics like number of bonds of DNA, bond counting, Chargaff's rule, charge counting, melting temperature of DNA, GC content of DNA. These various topics are covered within this session. So let's start. First question, number of carbon present in deoxyribose sugar. Number of carbon present in deoxyribose sugar. Pause this video and try to answer. So let's see the answer. The answer is number 5. Number 5. Here we see the sugar of DNA, the deoxyribose sugar, the number of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is B, number 5. Next question. Number of nitrogen bases present in DNA. Number of nitrogen bases in purine ring. In a purine ring, the number of nitrogen base. Let's see, this is a purine ring and number of nitrogen molecule in a purine ring 1, 2, 3, 4. So A is the answer. Here students, you have to remember the number of nitrogens in purine and pyrimidine rings also. In purine ring, number of nitrogens 4, and in pyrimidine ring, number of nitrogen 1 and 2. So you have to also remember the positions of nitrogen. Here the number of position of nitrogen is 1, 3, 7 and 9, and here only 1 and 3 position. So you have to remember just a thing that number of nitrogen in purine and pyrimidine and the positions of nitrogens in purine ring and pyrimidine ring. This is in purine 1379 and in pyrimidine 1 and 3. So I'll put the next question. Nucleoside composed of option A, pentose sugar and phosphoric acid, pentose sugar and nitrogen base, phosphoric acid and nitrogen base and hexose sugar. So students, now let's see the answer. Here, this is a structure of nucleotide, and we can see that the nucleoside composed of only nitrogenous base and the pentose sugar. So the answer is pentose sugar and nitrogen base. Here you have to remember also nucleoside means nitrogen base plus pentose sugar. If we attach a phosphoric acid, then it will form a nucleotide. So nucleoside plus phosphoric acid H3PO4 nucleotide. Here you can see the nucleotide. This is a nucleotide in which a pentose sugar present, a nitrogen base present, and a phosphoric acid present. And these nucleosides are known as syn. If the nitrogen base is adenine, then the nucleoside is known as adenosine. And if we attach one phosphate with the adenosine, then it is known as adenosine monophosphate. If we attach two phosphate, then it is adenosine diphosphate. And if we attach 3 phosphate, then it is ATP or adenosine triphosphate. And you can see this is a structure of ATP. This is a structure of ATP. This is very important for NEET and also other various entrants, that an ATP composed of a sugar, a nitrogen base, and 3 phosphate. This is alpha phosphate, beta phosphate, and gamma phosphate. 3 phosphate, and this is an ATP molecule. And here the energy comes from hydrolysis. This bond or these bonds, or the energy comes from this bond energy is the energy of ATP. Now I will move the next question. Question number 4. The bonds present in DNA. The bonds present in DNA. First, option A, phosphorester bond, hydrogen bond, beta 1 for glycosidic bond. Option 2, phosphorester bond, disulfide bond, glycosidic bond. Option C, hydrogen bond, in glycosidic bond, disulfide bond. Option 4, phosphorester bond, hydrogen bond, and inside glycosidic bond. Let's see the answer. Here, in a DNA molecule, we say that this is a pentose sugar, this is a nitrogen base. So the pentose sugar and nitrogen base, this is a pentose sugar and this is a nitrogen base, and this is a bond between pentose sugar and nitrogen base is known as N-glycosidic bond. N-glycosidic bond. And the bond between two sugar is known as phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester bond. And the bond between two strands of DNA or two nitrogen bases of DNA is known as hydrogen bond. These three bonds present in a DNA. So the bonds present in DNA is phosphodiester bond, hydrogen bond, and N-glycosidic bond. So option D is the answer. Here you have to remember the bonds. So here we see that in DNA only three types of bond present, and that's are phosphodiester bond, hydrogen bond, and N-glycosidic bond. Now in the next question, number of phosphodiester bond and glycosidic bond present in a 4 base pair DNA. So in a 4 base pair DNA, how many types of, or how much phosphodiester and glycosidic bond is present? Pause the video and try to calculate the number of bonds. Let's see the answer. Here, this is a 4 base pair DNA. So 4 base pair DNA or 4BP DNA means in this DNA, number of base 4 pair means 8. So total number of base is 8. So in each strand it possesses 4 nucleotide or 4 nitrogen base. Each strand, 2 strands present in a double stranded DNA. So here calculate the bonds. Notice that this is a nucleotide and this is a nucleotide, and the nucleotides are attached by a bond known as phosphodiester bond. This is the phosphodiester bond. So in 4 base pair DNA, 4 nucleotide present in a strand. So in a strand or in a single strand, the number of phosphodiester bond is 1, 2, and 3. So if we want to connect 4 nucleotide, then we need only 3 bonds, only 3. So in a single strand, number of phosphodiester bond is 3, and the other strand also possesses 3. So total phosphodiester bond is 6. Let's count. This is a 4 base pair DNA. This is a 4 base pair DNA. You can see that number of base pair: 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 4 base pair DNA. So here you can count the phosphodiester bond: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total number of phosphodiester bond is 6. Let's see the glycosidic bond. The glycosidic bond is a bond between a pentose sugar and a nitrogen base. So the number of glycosidic bond must be same as the number of nitrogen base. So here the number of nitrogen base is 8, so number of glycosidic bond also 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So the answer is phosphorus bond and glycosidic bond 6 and 8. 6 and 8. I think, but I hope you must understand. Now make a formula to count this bond. Let's see. Let's see, the number of phosphoester bond is equal to n minus 2 and the number of glycosidic bond is n. So here n equal to number of nitrogen base. Nitrogen base. So let's see, in this problem 4 base pair. 4 base pair means total nitrogen base 4 into 2, 8. So here the number of phosphoester bond 8 minus 2 equal to 6 and number of glycosidic bond equal to 8. I think you must understand. So let's move the next question. Here number of phosphoester bond present in 4 base pair DNA. Number of phosphoester bonds. So let's see what is phosphoester bond. In this DNA, we can see that a pentose sugar binds with a phosphate. A pentose sugar binds with a phosphate with a bond known as phosphoester bond. This is a phosphoester bond, and this is a phosphodiester bond, where a phosphate molecule binds with 2 pentose sugar. Here a phosphate and 2 phosphoester bond or 2 ester bond. That's why this is known as phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester. And here only a phosphate only attached with a pentose sugar, only a ester bond, only one ester bond present. So this is known as phosphoester bond. Phosphoester bond. So we can say that in a phosphodiester bond, two phosphoester bond present. Two phosphoester bond present. And here the number of phosphoester bond equal to the double of phosphodiester bond. So in a 4 base pair DNA, number of phosphodiester bond equal to 8 minus 2 n minus 2 or 8 minus 2 suman 6. So the phosphoester bond equal to 6 gunito into 2 means 12. And see that in the terminal position here a phosphoester bond present, and also in this terminal one phosphoester bond present. So or 2 means total number 14. So in a 4 base pair DNA, number of phosphoester bond, answer B, 40. So if we make a formula, then number of phosphoester bond equal to N 2 into N minus 2 plus 2. So this is the formula for phosphoester bond counting. 2 into N minus 2 plus 2. Here let's see, 2 into N minus 2, 8 minus 6 plus 2. So 8 minus 2. So 2 into 6 plus 2 equal to 14. So this is the formula for counting phosphoester bond. single bond. 2 into n minus 2 plus 2. I think you must understand this. So if you have to count, then calculate the total number base and put in the formula. Next question. Charge of DNA molecule. Charge of DNA molecule is negative. Why? Let's see. In a DNA, in each phosphodiester bond, one O minus is present. So, if in a DNA, a huge number of negative ion present, so the charge of DNA also negative. Next question. Need charge of a 4 base pair DNA molecule is. So we have to count the need charge of a 4 base pair DNA. Let's see. This is a 4 base pair DNA. This is a 4 base pair DNA. And the charge, let's say the charge in each phosphodiester bond, one O minus is present. So at first you have to count the number of phosphodiester bond. So here number of phosphodiester bond equal to n minus 2 equal to 8 minus 2 means 6. So the charge equal to minus 6. And also look at the terminal nucleotides. Look at the terminal nucleotides. Look at the terminal nucleotides. Here this is a terminal nucleotide and this is a terminal nucleotide. An extra phosphate or phosphoric acid present. And here the charge possesses minus 2. 2O minus present. And here also 2O minus present. So we have to attach or add minus 2 and minus 2 minus 4. So total need charge is minus 10. So a 4 base pair DNA possesses the charge minus 10. So D is the answer, minus 10. So here we can say that number of charge equal to the number of phosphodiester bond in addition with minus 4. So here in the formula for number of need charge equal to minus of, as the DNA charge is negative, so minus of number of phosphodiester bond, as each phosphodiester bond possesses minus 1 charge plus 4. So total this is the charge, and according to this problem number of phosphodiester bond is 6 plus 4, so the need charge minus 10. I think you hope the formula. You must understand the formula. Let's see the next question. In a 60 base pair DNA, number of adenine is 20. Then what is the number of cytosine? This is a problem from Chargaff's rule. This is a problem from Chargaff's rule. Let's see what is Chargaff's rule. Chargaff's rule says that number of purine base equal to the number of pyrimidine base. Number of pyrimidine base. So, and number of A equal to number of T and number of G equal to number of C. So A plus G or number of purine suman C plus T or number of pyrimidine. So in a double stranded DNA, or dsDNA, this formula works. So this is a formula for a double stranded DNA. You have to understand this, that this formula is only for a double stranded DNA. Only in a double stranded DNA, number of A equal to number of T, number of G equal to number of C. So let's come to the answer. Here, in a 60 base pair DNA, so at first we have to count the total base. So 60 base pair means 60 base pair means total base equal to 60 into 2, 120. So this is the total base 120. Now adenine equal to 20. So as per Chargaff's rule, thymine also 20. So we can say that adenine plus thymine equal to 40. Adenine plus thymine equal to 40. So total base 120, adenine plus thymine 40. So number of guanine and cytosine, guanine plus cytosine, so 120 minus 40, 80. And also we know that guanine equal to cytosine. So we can say that cytosine equal to guanine, or C equal to G. So here cytosine or 2 cytosine, we put cytosine in the place of guanine. So 2 cytosine equal to 80, or cytosine equal to 40. So the number of cytosine, the answer is 40. I think you must understand the process of calculation, the base calculation. So at first we have to calculate the total base. This is very much important. We have to calculate the total base, and then by Chargaff's rule we have to calculate the number of cytosine, or whatever question says. So let's move the next question. Here the question says, in a 1 to 102 nanometer DNA, number of adenine 90, then what is the number of cytosine? Similar problem, but here total number of base is not clear. So here we have to make another concept from physical structure of DNA, where the physical structure says the number of base in a unit length of DNA. So let's see, in a physical structure of DNA, in a complete, write down this, in a complete term, or in a pitch or helix pitch, total number of base pair is equal to 10, means total base 20. Total base 20. So let's see, this is a complete helix pitch. This is a complete helix pitch. This is a one complete turn, complete helix pitch. And the length of this helix pitch is 34 Armstrong. 34 Armstrong means 3.4 nanometer. And in a complete helix pitch, number of nitrogen base pair is 10. So number of base is 20. And let's see that width of DNA is 20 Armstrong. Width of DNA 20 Armstrong, and the length of a complete turn or on one complete helix pitch is 3.4 nanometer or 34 Armstrong. So from here we can take an information that in 3.4 nanometer DNA, number of total base equal to 20. I think you understand how we can say that in a helix pitch number of total base 20 and the length of a helix pitch is 3.4 nanometer. So we can say that 3.4 nanometer DNA number of total base is 20. And in the problem 102 nanometer. So in 102 nanometer DNA number of total base equal to 3.4. So in 102 nanometer DNA, number of total base is 20 by 3.4 into 102. And this is 600. Take a screenshot it that how I calculate the total number of base from length of DNA. So here the in X 102 nanometer DNA number of total base equal to 600. As we said in the previous question that we first count the total number of base. So here the total number of base 600 and adenine equal to 90. So the number of cytosine. Pause this and now try to calculate. So let's see the answer. Here site number of adenine 90. Adenine 90. So thymine also 90 and total 180. So G plus C. So G plus C equal to 600 minus 180 equal to 420, and we know that G equal to C, so 2C equal to 420 and C equal to 210. So here the answer is B, 210. I think you understand the calculation of the basis. So let's move the next question. In 92-degree temperature, two strands of DNA separates is known as. In 92-degree temperature, two strands of DNA separates. It is known as denaturation of DNA. Here you see that you have to remember that a double-stranded DNA, if we hit this DNA, then after melting temperature, which is 92 degree average, 92 degrees centigrade, this is known as TM or melting temperature. DNA starts unwinding or denaturation, means two strands get separated. And if we release the heat, then it also rewind or make double-stranded DNA. This is known as denaturation by giving heat, and this is renaturation. So in 92 degrees centigrade temperature, DNA denaturation occurs. Option C is the answer. Let's move to the next question. Which of these following DNA has high melting temperature? DNA has high melting. Which of these following DNA high melting temperature? Melting temperature is high. So let's see. that the melting temperature depends on the GC content. AT double bonds or double hydrogen bond, but in case of GC it's triple hydrogen bond. So where the GC content is high or GC base pair is high, we have to put more energy to denature. So here let's see that where the GC content is high, the melting temperature also must be high. So which of these following DNA high melting temperature, or in between the 4 DNA where the melting temperature is high? Let's see the option A, 80-92% means GC 8%, GC 96%, 82% means GC 98%, GC 2% means GC 2%. So let's see in between 4 DNA where GC high. So this is the answer, option C. Here GC content is 98%. So more GC, the more hydrogen bond, and we have to put more energy to melt. So melting temperature is high in this DNA, in which number of GC content is maximum, or number of GC content is high, or amount of GC content is high. So here C is the answer, where 82% means GC 98%. These DNA have highest melting temperature. Let's move the next question. In which condition DNA denatures fast? In which condition DNA denature fast? It means in which condition melting temperature is lowers or DNA fastly denatures. Let's see. Absence of ions. Now we have to know that the DNA structure, DNA is a negatively charged structure, or in between two strands, various O minus is present, negative present, and these strands repels each other. But in nucleus or in nucleoplasm, various ions like Mg plus neutralize these ions, neutralize this charge. So repulsion lowers. But in absence of ion, the repulsion must be maximum. So the denaturation also must be fast. So this statement is true. Let's see the next. Presence of ions. Now from this concept we have seen that in presence of ions, the negative charge must be lower, and then repulsion must be lower. So if repulsion lowers, then denaturation or separation of strands must be not fast. So this is wrong. Optimum pH. Here the relationship with pH is, if here the relationship with pH is, in optimum pH or in between 3 to 7, DNA is stable. DNA is stable. If pH or 3 to 10, this is 3 to 10, this is in between 3 to 10, DNA is stable, DNA structure is stable. If pH high or less than 10, then DNA may be less protonated, or if the pH is lower or lower than 3, then it must be protonated, and in protonated or deprotonated condition, DNA denature fast. So in optimum pH, it doesn't denature fast, it is stable. So this is also wrong. High GC content. In the previous question, we have seen that GC content If GC content is high, then DNA structure is more stable. So denature slowly. So this is also wrong. So right answer is absence of ion. In the absence of ion, I uh, say that in absence of ion, the repulsion between two strands is maximum. So in absence of ion, DNA denature first. Now the last question. If a nucleic acid possesses adenine 39%, thymine 10%, guanine 25%, and cytosine 95%, then the nucleic acid is option A, single stranded DNA, option B, single stranded RNA, option C, double stranded DNA, option D, double stranded RNA. So pause this video and try to make the answer. Let's see. Here thymine is present. Here thymine present. So it is not RNA. It is not RNA. It must be DNA. So these are wrong. Here A 39% and T 10%. So this or G 25% and C 95%. This doesn't follow Chargaff's rule. And we know that in double stranded DNA or a double stranded DNA follow Chargaff's rule. So in a double stranded DNA, it must be A equal to T or G equal to C. But here A not equal to T, G not equal to C. So it must be single stranded DNA. So the answer is single stranded DNA. I hope you understand and this session will be helpful for you. It is last minute preparation for NEET, and if you goes through this video or this question, you must answer all this type of questions. At last I request to remember some things about DNA. Looks the different types of DNA or different forms of DNA, which are forms from a standard DNA in adverse condition like dehydration or in high ion concentration. Different forms of DNA is found. These forms are bDNA, aDNA, and zDNA. The standard DNA, what is now we have studied, this is bDNA, and the different two format A and Z. You have to remember only these 3 points. Helical sense. The bDNA's helical sense is right-handed, aDNA also right-handed, but Z is left-handed. You have to remember this. The Z form of DNA have left-handed helix, or the helical sense is left-handed. This is a right-handed or this is a left-handed. You have to remember that A and B form of DNA possesses right-handed helix, but Z DNA possesses left-handed. And now you have to remember the helical term. In a helical term, the number of base pair in bDNA 10.5 or 10, but in case of A 11 and in case of Z it is 12. You have to remember this also, and you have to remember this helix rise per base, or if a DNA, this is a DNA, this is a DNA. So per base distance or per distance between two base or per base rise is 3.4 Armstrong in bDNA, 2.6 in aDNA, and 3.7 Armstrong in zDNA. These 3 points you have to remember. That difference or that differs the three form B, A, and Z form of DNA. Helical sense, base pair per turn, and helical rise or base pair distance between two DNA, 3 DNA. Just next one thing you have to remember that the systemic names of the nitrogen bases. This is a pyrimidine and this is a purine and this is a adenine. This is adenine which systematic name is 6-aminopurine. You have to remember this, or you have to must study this. This is 6-aminopurine. This is 6-aminopurine. is systemic name. This is 2 amino 6 oxy purine. The systemic name of this purine or guanine is 2 amino 6 oxy purine. You have to remember this. And here the main chain is purine, and the derivatives are 6 amino purine and 2 amino 6 oxy purine, adenine and guanine. Here pyrimidine cytosine systemic name is 2 oxy 4 amino pyrimidine, 4 amino pyrimidine. And uracil is 2,4-dioxypyrimidine, 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 2,4-dioxypyrimidine. And the systemic name of thymine is 2,4-dioxy-5-methyl pyrimidine. This systemic name you have to remember, and it will help in your exam. I think this video is a helpful video for you, and best of luck for NEET exam. Thank you. And at last I want to say that if you like this video, please share this video and subscribe my channel, and it will help for various type of preparation in biological science. And also I want to say that we recently started a chemistry channel also in this IPCS, so please subscribe this channel and share this video. Thank you.